Techland just released the biggest update for Dying Light 2. This adds a ton of new content. We have daily and weekly missions. We also have a first look at some of the really cool rewards you can take out of it. There's some brand new enemies and a ton of other stuff in this video to talk about, including my favorite photo mode. So let's begin. Of course, let's get started with a brand new feature. The photo mode has just been added for everybody who's been asking for it. Well, I was one of them. I definitely wanted it in a very long time, and it's finally here. You basically access this from the pause menu. There's the photo mode out there, and then you can pretty much toggle either the free camera or just go in the first person view and play around with the settings. They are quite extensive. It gives you the standard control over how the image quality looks, how close or far you are from the character, aperture, focus size, and all of that. Also going in with the filters and some of the other really nice goodies over there that lets you create the image that you need. I'm a personal favorite of the ones that gives you more exposure and control over the contrast, since this really makes the images pop. And you do know I really like increasing that exposure and contrast on my images. There's a few other goodies in there that of course you can check out, but the biggest highlight is the brand new content, because if you head over at the fisheye in the city center, you will notice that there's a brand new Nightrunner NPC called Harper. So this is basically the one that you have to talk to, both to access the new daily and weekly bounties, the new types of missions, as well as the really awesome rewards. So every single day, that being 24 hours, you get access to 5 total daily bounties. You can only activate up to 3 of these at the same time, but you can obviously complete 5 of them in the time window that you're given. It's just that only 3 can be active at the same time. You can obviously also activate or deactivate them in order to choose others if you find it a bit more comfortable. Of course, also weekly bounties, you only start with 1, but as you progress through the levels with Harper, he is going to unlock a lot more at level 4 and finally at level 9. But these bounties are actually quite straightforward. They also differ and will change on a daily basis, but basically they require you to defeat a certain number of enemies or certain types of enemies, or defeat them with certain type of actions, like for example having to take down some of these haulers without having them alert any nearby enemies. Otherwise that counter would reset to 0. There's also even more straightforward ones, like defeating a number of enemies and collecting their mutation samples. One weekly requires 5,000 and one daily requires 1,000. It might seem daunting at first, but there's actually a super easy way to do this in just minutes. Basically right here at the top of this building in the north center of Old Villador, right below one of these like tents in which you can sleep in. So basically there's one of these rooftops. If you reach chase level 4, you can just go ahead and fight a lot of these volatiles, which will drop a lot more of these mutation samples, about I'm not sure, like 10k a night, maybe even more depending on how well equipped you are. And you will want to be well equipped. I definitely recommend having level 9 gear and at least about 35% resistance against affected, so that you can then use a legendary or artifact toughness booster to pretty much be immune to their damage for the whole duration. It made it way easier and I was able to complete this super fast. Once you complete both of these as well as that weekly, not only will you get like thousands of these mutation samples, which as I've said are some of the new currencies, but also a second new currency, which is going to be this Harper token, which you can go ahead and just claim from your stash in the extras menu. And with these, you can go ahead back at Harper in his vendor section right here at the top, as he sells a bunch of new items. The higher your level with it, the higher and the better the items you can get. So for example, the more you level up by completing those daily and weekly bounties, the more you're gonna get access to better and better loot, including higher quality gear and weapons. In this case, all the way up to artifact and even the brand new added legendary tier. I've already explained in a previous video when it was added, but basically legendary weapons are between 30 to 50% better than the best artifact out there, even when fully upgraded with mods. It's actually going to be like super awesome to get one of these. It doesn't cost too much initially, and you can then complete those bounties even easier, especially the ones that require you thousands of these new collectibles. You also get access to the unique Nightrunner's claws. I think that these look out of this world and possibly the best knuckles right now in Dying Light 2, both in terms of how they perform in combat but also in terms of looks. Definitely in love with the aesthetic, but you can totally apply a mod to it since it has a slot over there, and I heavily suggest you going with the bleed crit mod for additional damage and dots against targets, and since these are super fast, you can totally stack those up really quickly. My favorite of the bunch though are gonna be the brand new cosmetics, and we do get access to a few ones including legendary tier. So this includes the legendary elite Nightrunner paraglider and Nightrunner outfits. Yeah, the paraglider looks something like this. I think it's really awesome. Comes with that bat over there and the Nightrunner on it, as well as a few like nice outlines over there with the green graffiti, and I really like the combination with the purple. At the same time, you also get access to this new outfit right here. Of course, legendary quality, really awesome with the hoodie going on and the spikes on the shoulder, and the overall theme with the red and the black definitely seems really awesome. It's not the only one though. There's also an artifact level that might be recognizable to you because this is the hooded Knight Rider from the old trailers. So yes, it is finally available in the game and you can go ahead and get it. And I also think they did a really great job at upgrading it and making it a little bit better how it was in the previews. But as I've said, it doesn't just stop here. There's also repeatable missions and new content. So this is done with the chapter mission tickets. At level 2, you unlock these regular mission tickets, but at level 9, you also get the elite versions, which will give you even more Harper tokens. You need to buy these with the newly added mutation samples and then head over to the Holy Trinity metro station, as there's gonna be one of these panels right here that gives you access to 2 new types of time-limited missions. So the regular one is going to be rather simple. You kind of have to go into one of these buildings. You have about 5 minutes to reach your destination and clear the final enemies over there. You don't have to clear all the enemies on your way over there, but you do need to like open up some of these doors and push some of these objects out of the way. So sometimes you do need to either distract enemies, be fast, or just clear out the entire room. And then you're gonna reach one of these levels that's pretty much on fire. You don't have to jump down, by the way, otherwise you're just gonna like fail the challenge. Instead, you need to navigate these platforms and go from one collapsed room to another, avoiding these enemies. There's likely going to be one volatile there too behind one of these walls, so totally take it down or use a booster against it. And there's gonna be a final room with final enemies. This one you do have to clear out, and once you do that, you're gonna be able to complete the entire challenge, hopefully below those 5 minutes. And once you do that, you get one of these like crystal packages, including like lower quality versions but also higher ones that you can go ahead and sell for a lot of money. And of course, you also get about 500 more mutation samples, so that definitely comes in handy if you also like want a lot more of these to afford items from the new shop. I haven't completed any of the elite ones yet since, yeah, these are reserved to rank 9, but this is gonna be the best way at the end of the track to pretty much get those Harper tokens and afford even more of the legendary stuff from the vendor section. So yeah, totally check out the update. It's absolutely free, looks really awesome. I think it's one of the best updates yet for Dying Light 2, and there's quite a bit of content in there too. On top of the fact that we also got the previous update after this that included some other nice missions and goodies too. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.